So I'm here with Sara-May Colón from Adventist Health Castle, and she is the senior chaplain here, which is exciting to me because I was not expecting you, Sara-May. So you are the senior chaplain here. What does that mean?
In every setting it's a little bit different, but in this hospital particularly, it means that I run the chaplaincy department within the house here. So we have different chaplains and we go onto all the different floors. We're here for the patients, for the staff, for any of the family members. Basically anything that's going on in the hospital we try to be part of and be supportive.
I was told you have a pretty colorful background. Like, how does Sara-May Colón get to Divinity Master's Program? Like, what's your background?
So it's really bizarre. So my parents are these phenomenal human beings. I was born in Massachusetts, and then shortly thereafter we moved to Michigan because my dad was a pastor. And then shortly after that, my parents decided to be missionaries. And so they took my brother and I to England for a split second, and then France to learn French, so that way when we got to West Africa, where we were going to live, we could speak the language. And so then we spent a while in West Africa, and then in between all of that happening, we ended up moving to Russia. And so we lived in Moscow after that for a bit.
How long were you in Russia?
I was there till I was almost 14. So
wow,
13,
so you were like a
13.
KGB agent.
Yeah, and it was right when communism, like the Iron Curtain, had just gone down.
Oh,
so
wow.
like communism was just wrapping up. My parents were helping people understand how to bring a lot of the underground churches out because they had been hiding for so long. And so my dad was health and temperance director, my mom was a family ministries director, and then they worked with the local churches to kind of empower them in that area.
Obviously, this is something that's been in your life. So going to get a degree was always sort of in the plan, per se.
Well, I was only taking theology because I was a missionary kid. Because my whole life I'd been telling people what to believe in. And when I was a kid, I was like, that's really fun and I love these stories. But when I got older, I was like, is this something I believe or is it just something I was told to believe?
Right, right.
And so that's what I did I decided to study it from the ground up to make sure I really believed what I'd been telling people my whole life.
And how did you end up here?
My extended family and my brother all live here. And my brother and I, because when we were little, we didn't really have family or anyone around. We always promised whoever had children first, the other one would move to. And so a couple years back, my brother was like, so,
remember what we talked about?
That you're supposed to move, I had offspring first, so you're coming here. And so, yeah, just one day I was like, you're right, it's time.
You know what's so interesting to me, though, with following it, is that you ended up in a medical environment doing the work that you're obviously meant to do here at Adventist Health Castle. Where do you guys have to draw the line of where do you guys integrate into the medical, scene?
So one of the biggest challenges as a chaplain is actually to be able to explain what a chaplain is. Right? So we're in the process actually of redefining what spirituality means, because our job is to be a spiritual presence for everyone, not only to support them, but also to kind of journey with them.
Right.
We'll just introduce ourselves and try to be present with the patients, and then building those relationships with the staff and letting them know that, one, they're not alone, but also we support them as the face of spirituality and support and empowering them to be the front line and to know when to refer to us and to know when to say, you know what, actually we can do this part. And one of my favorite parts of being a chaplain is that I get to be in pockets of time and space with people that I should not be allowed to be in.
True.
And so I think our job is to integrate into that and to be part of the staff's life without taking their distracting them from their jobs, and then also being with the patients as much as possible. So it's a very fine line of being spiritual.
It's an art form,
and then just being a presence and being supportive. So.
Well, thank you, Sara-May Colón, for all you do for Adventist Health Castle. I am so privileged to have been able to hear your story today.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Been fun.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.